but more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or over and present. Michigan bonus issued as now. Withdrawable free bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max free bet of $100. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problems? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
At the next stop
This
sign,
report brought to you
turn
by
right.
Corewell Health. Down in Monroe County, a crash is blocking the two left lanes on southbound 75 at Luna Pier. Before this, seeing some slowdowns through the work zone on 75 heading southbound before Sibley.
At the stop
75
sign,
north
turn
exit
right
50
onto
for
Queen
Troy.
Lake
There's a
Road.
disabled
Then
vehicle
turn
and a
left
crash
onto
reported
Union Lake
southbound
Road.
75 after Ortonville Road. Corewell Health is the new name for Beaumont because at their core, they're here to help you be well so you can live your healthiest life possible. Whether you want to take a big step in your health or just the next one, Corewell Health is here for you. Learn more at
At the light, turn left onto
I'm Michelle
Union Lake
Pena with
Road.
traffic.
Then turn right
97.1
onto
The
Queen Lake
Ticket.
Road.
2022 winner of the National Association of Broadcasters Marconi Radio Award for Sports Station of the Year.
This Odyssey.com Sports Minute is brought to you by Abraham Anderose.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Arizona yesterday fired coach Cliff Kingsbury and announced that general manager Steve Keim is stepping down. In 2021, the Cardinals raced to a 10-2 start before cratering. The new Glendale regime must deal with mercurial Kyler Murray, who was asked to agree to an embarrassing contract clause about minimum game plan study time. Good luck with this. What an impending disaster. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could mean lower testosterone. I went through it a while
At the
back.
light,
I got
turn
Nugenix
right
Total
onto
T,
Queen
and it's
Lake
made a
Road.
huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel
In
like I'm in my
1.7 miles,
20s again.
turn
Work,
right
in
onto
the
Lafayette
gym,
Road.
and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text JUDGE to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermal, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text JUDGE to 321321. That's JUDGE to 321321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Whatever the forecast, Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical has you covered. No need to call around town. When you need reliable service, you need it now. Mastercraft is locally owned, and they're your connection when it comes to your furnace, AC, generator, or sump pump. Call Mastercraft at 800-924-2123 for 24-hour emergency service, or your service call is free. That's 800-924-2123, or visit mastercraftheating.com. That's mastercraftheating.com.
Applied Innovation customer Eric Wallenberg, Executive Director for the Hope Network Foundation, interacts with a lot of Applied Innovation personnel.
I just love the marketing team here. I love the sales team, the production team, everybody that I've gotten to interface with from the front desk all the way on up.
Plus, Applied Innovation knows saving money is important for nonprofits.
They're partnering with a lot of different organizations like Hope Network and other great nonprofits around town to make sure that those groups, those organizations are getting what they need to fulfill their mission and deliver their services best to the community as possible.
Applied Innovation. Fast, friendly, amazing.
As a nonprofit, we have budgets that we have to watch really closely. We're stretched really thin, and so when we can tap into some of their creativity, their expertise, their innovation to make our dollars go even further, that helps us to deliver on impactful events, to raise more money for our mission.
Let Applied Innovation help deliver your mission. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
So, you've unwrapped a new device this year. Don't forget to take your favorite stations and podcasts with you.
No matter where you go.
With the Odyssey app.
Stream the music and shows you love on your phone, tablet, laptop, smart speaker, and more.
Create an account to save your favorites across devices.
And jump back to the moments that matter most with Rewind.
Your favorite local listening. Available when and how you want.
Download the Odyssey app today to get started.
Drive a new 23 Ram 1500 Crew Cab Bighorn for the same price as the factory ad special on a 2022. Only at Kelly Ennis Van Dyke Dodge in Warren, Metro Detroit's largest volume Dodge dealer.
At the light, turn right onto Lafayette Road.
97.1 The Ticket is presented by BetQL. Smarter bets start with BetQL. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today. The Detroit Red Wings host the Winnipeg Jets. Pre-game tonight at 6:45 on 97.1 The
In
Ticket.
1.2 miles,
Live from the
turn
Jamie
right onto
Samuelson
Willow Road.
studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
248-539-9797.
Speaking of classic names,
Yes.
obviously, Jack is kind of a classic name, but
Yeah.
I do want to say happy birthday to Jack. He turns 12 today.
Jack Jensen, baby, happy birthday!
He's on his way to school, and January is a birthday month in the Jansen house. We've got 5 of them.
Wow!
Yeah, so today is the first of many.
So I'm going back 9 months. So
The plan was
off-season.
off-season, yeah.
you didn't plan on making the Super Bowl?
No, so Lucy was supposed to be born on the day that Detroit hosted the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And so we, obviously was hoping for that, but then they would be born, and then I would be home for the longest stretch of time when they were, infants, babies. So.
All right, happy birthday, Jack.
At the next
All right,
stop
now we're
sign,
talking about
turn
classic
right.
baby names because I saw the movie A Man Called Otto. I wanted to know, are there any Ottos anymore? Or are kids getting named after classic names? And I do want to, maybe I didn't pronounce this correctly because I was looking at a website called babycenter.com.
Way to enunciate.
Well, I had to enunciate because
Baby
Center because I have 2 texts here. Stoney, if you don't want to be labeled creepy,
At
you
the
might
stop
want to go
sign,
easy on the
turn right onto Willow Road.
Oh, boy.
Somebody else says babysitter.com. Well, we know what Stoney is into.
Oh, no.
Are you willing to put that into just babysitter.com into your search engine and see what happens?
No.
In 3/4 of a mile, turn right onto Lakina Avenue.
Does point right now where we're always looking for a good baby.
Where am I going?
I figured which way you're going, so I have this send.
Very cool. Thank you, sir.
Otto Porter Jr., that's right. NBA.
Yeah.
My family went with Old English names. Henry, Charles,
Yeah, I can
and
see
Grace.
it, so I know.
All right.
Oh, those are nice.
We named our
Yeah,
daughter
that's better.
Abigail.
That's better.
My 3-month-old's name is Solomon.
Okay. Yeah.
Solomon Williams, who works for the Lions. Great guy.
Yeah, so we're back to the biblical stuff. So I did some more research on the call that was on Dorcas, who
Turn
went by
right onto
Tabitha.
Lakina
It's
Avenue.
New Testament.
Then turn right onto
Oh,
First
back.
Street.
Oh.
And
And who was Dorcas?
apparently Dorcas/Tabitha was resurrected by Peter.
Huh.
Peter resurrects a lot of women. Stoney, I have a 14-year-old son, Earl.
Turn right onto
Hear
First
that a
Street.
lot.
He's the only Earl I've met in his generation. No one forgets his name. You're still talking? You're still laughing at resurrecting Peter. I'm just going to ignore it. Turn off
Yep,
this
pulling it
laughing
up.
machine.
I told you he was resurrected by Peter.
You said Peter is resurrected.
The destination is on your left. 72 21st Street.
Bringing up a caller, did.
I
So we get the research.
know.
My 4 are Colette, Stanley, Henry, and Lucille.
There you go. Love the Lucille name, obviously. And Henry, I like Henry because I think Henry is a terrific name, but I like the abbreviated version of Hank. Yeah.
We named our infant Mildred.
Millie?
Wow. I
used to
like Millie.
I used to have an Aunt Mildred. Mildred Hirschman. I'm convinced that some people just throw letters together.
Yes. Seems like it.
Yeah. My grandma's name was Geraldine. Which
Okay.
was Cindy's mom's name was Geraldine. So he says Walter.
Oh, yeah. Walter's a great one, yeah. Willie?
There's not many baby Walters out there.
Probably not anymore. Scott, you're 97 won the ticket.
Never heard my grandfather's name. I've never heard anybody else's name. His name was Royal, Royal, and his brother's name was Raleigh. so it was Royal and Raleigh when they were growing up.
Raleigh
cool,
spelled
yeah.
like Raleigh, North Carolina?
Yeah, exactly.
Sir Walter Raleigh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my grandfather's name was Royal, but another name I've always liked, and it was my stepdad's name, is Marion. I've not heard a lot of Marions anymore.
No.
There was a famous football player played for the Cleveland Brown, Marion Motley.
Right.
One of the first African Americans, I believe, in the NFL. He was a terrific player.
Marion Barber.
Marion Barber.
There you go. Yep.
Yes. The second and the third. Jim in Dearborn, you're 97 on the ticket.
Morning, guys.
Good morning.
We named my daughter Emma Gray.
Emma Grace.
Yeah. 2 classics.
Yes. My daughter's
I had a
middle
grandma
name
by
is
the
Grace.
name of Margaret.
Here's another thing I want to ask about that. The nickname for Margaret for some people is Peggy. How did that happen?
Peggy.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Yes.
How
That's what we call Grandma.
Right. How does Peggy come from Margaret?
I don't know. How does Tabitha
I have
come
no
from
idea.
Dorcas?
I know, but like I can see,
down
you can
towards
see
Keith.
Hank from Henry. You can see Chuck from Charles.
Sure. Yeah.
Peggy from Margaret.
Richard and Dick.
Yeah. Not too many.
I'm not jumping in.
You're not jumping in on Dick. Not too many kids
Yep,
are named
this
Dick
is it.
anymore. Mike in Livonia, you're 97 on the ticket.
I made the
Hey,
right
guys,
call.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. When Jansen is
You're
turning
Yeah,
around.
this is it.
running on the way to a doctor's appointment.
Since we're going to be doing it tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon.
A couple that haven't been mentioned, my grandpa's name was Orion, O-R-I-O-N.
Okay.
And then my grandma's name was Elsie, E-L-S-I-E.
You know what the problem with that is? When you think of
What?
Elsie, you just think of Elsie the cow.
But yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, of course
but
they
none of them names- Hey, I could never do that to my kids, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
get it.
a lot of them names that have come up, Waldo and all that stuff. So. But anyway, you guys, hey, how about Georgia last night? What's up with that? Holy moly.
Yeah, I kind of saw that one coming, though.
Yeah, exactly. Because of a classic name, Stetson. You will probably see a lot of kids in Georgia will have the name Stetson in the next few
Yeah,
years.
Jimmy's having another kid. And he wants to be a boy.
Oh, you're having another
Well,
kid?
boy or girl, it's going to be Stetson. No.
Breaking news.
Hey, quick on that, though. Elsie or Oren? I think of Oren Tall.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Sports headlines. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
I'm going to get a normal lead in one of these days, but the day cars per kid.
You and Heather.
Christopher
We're going
going
to the
there you
update
go.
for that
Georgia
one.
murdered TCU last night.
Just gonna walk away. But they did. It was a complete pounding, 65-7. Bulldogs back-to-back winners. Meanwhile, star running back Blake Corum has unfinished business. He'll be returning to Ann Arbor for another season with the Wolverines. He did join Rich Eisen's show on Roku for the reveal, but also was asked about Jim Harbaugh and if he would be back after reportedly talking to multiple NFL teams about open jobs.
I'm not sure what he would do, but if he comes back, I would love to play for him one more year. But if he thinks, it's better that he go to the NFL, I wish him the best of luck, and I might be able to play for him there. Like I said, I love Coach Harbaugh, but he has to make the best decisions for him. So honestly, I'm not sure what he's going to do. We shall see.
Tom Pelissero says that Harbaugh had his virtual interview with the Denver Broncos yesterday. Following their 9-8 season, the Lions cleaned out their lockers after just missing the postseason. Tackle Penei Sewell says their goal next year is to host playoff games at Ford Field. Coordinators Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn have both been requested to interview for open head coaching jobs. And the Red Wings are expecting Tyler Bertuzzi to return to the ice for their home matchup versus the Jets tonight downtown. He hasn't played since November 30th due to injury and has only been active in 9 total games so far this season. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villar. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
Thank you, Christopher. Our telephone number is 248-539-9797. Now, Georgia is the national champion again.
Yep, well deserved.
Dominant. And unfortunately, we can't play you Kirby Smart's pep talk because it's all bleeps, okay? But it's pretty impressive how he got his Bulldogs fired up. Actually, that game was so much of a mismatch. I think a Bob Ross speech they still would have won, you know?
Are you talking about classic names? How about Kirby?
Yeah.
I mean, that goes way back.
Way back?
Yeah. But yeah, they did an unbelievable job, and they've done it for years. The obstacle for Georgia was Nick Saban in Alabama. And then it was, at times Clemson, but they've been in that conversation. They've had good seasons. Now back-to-back national titles with a quarterback that 3 years ago, quite honestly, nobody really wanted.
Yeah. I mean, he left. He left because he couldn't play there. So he went to a junior college, proved that he could play, took a junior college to the national championship, came back to Georgia, walked on, and was third string, if that, and said, I'm a number one. And he proved it. And
now some are calling him the greatest Georgia Bulldog of all time.
You can't, it's undisputable. Well, Herschel Walker was amazing, obviously. Yeah. There have been some others. I mean, look, he's obviously accomplished more than the guy who was on the ceremonial coin toss yesterday, Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
He did more for Georgia than Stafford or Aaron Murray, or pick your Georgia great player.
Yes, great leadership, solid, consistent play.
Yeah.
But, okay, did Matthew Stafford have the defense that Stetson Bennett has been playing with the last couple of years? So, I mean, I'm not trying to discount.
No, I understand that.
But,
he
yes,
had A.J. Green, though. I think Noshawn Marino maybe with Stafford, or one of the running backs, yeah.
As an accomplishment, being the quarterback of back-to-back national title teams is something that very few individuals can say.
Right. He was yesterday 18-25, 304 yards, 4 touchdowns through the air, two touchdowns rushing. That's 6. Do the math. He's got great players with him. There's no doubt. Their tight end Bowers is only a sophomore. He's unbelievable. Great speed at wide receiver. They're just a terrific team. The question I have at 248-539-9797. 248-539-9797. You're Brad Holmes, and you're sitting there, the 5th round pick. You take a chance on Stetson Bennett? Stetson Bennett?
What was the other one we said pre-show?
A couple weeks ago, I called him Stetson Benson.
Benson,
yes.
Now what you call it? Stetson Benton?
Well, I said Benton.
Yeah.
Stetson Benton.
Yeah. Got Stony-1 on the mind. As you should.
Yeah.
Successful. Yet again. But what was your question? You kind of got me distracted there.
Would you draft him in the 5th round, let's say? If you're the Lions. Right? Where do you think he's going to go? If a team needs a backup quarterback, he can run.
Yeah.
He's got a good arm. He doesn't have a great arm. He's smart. He's a great teammate. Isn't that somebody you want?
Yes. Do you want him as your number 2, or is he going to be your? I think he starts off as your number 3. If you're gonna keep 3 on the roster. If I'm going to take him,
would you draft Stetson Bennett?
Struggling with that one.
I know.
Honestly, probably the 6th round, especially since the Lions have 2 picks in the 6th round. They've been very successful with 6th round picks. I think that's about where I would take a guy that, I don't want to take anything away from what he did in college. This is not taking away from his successes, but the NFL game and the college game is markedly different. If you're drafting a guy and you feel like his ceiling is as a number 2 quarterback, not that he comes in as a number 2 but eventually becomes your franchise quarterback, but comes in and is probably your number 3, works his way into holding the clipboard, I don't know that you take him above 5th or 6th round. And for the Detroit Lions, since they still need so much, I would take him probably in the 6th round.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you can't use the 5th because they don't have a pick from middle of 3rd until
They go
middle
from
of 5th.
81 to 149.
Yeah, and at that point, you can't. You've got to wait until the 6th to use one of those picks.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a little bit of a luxury pick. How can you not do this, considering what Brock Purdy's done?
Right.
And I do believe it's situational. Like part of the reason this Purdy thing's working in San Francisco is offensive line,
and
run game, elite tight end. And a lot of rookie quarterbacks, especially unseasoned ones, they go to the tight end. It's the check down. Yeah. I mean, George Kittle has had a phenomenal 6-week stretch here with Purdy back in. It's like George Kittle came back to life. I know. You know? I think situationally, because the Lions have a decent run game, a good offensive line, yeah, why not? Especially as a 3.
Right. But here's the other question. 248-539-9797. Would you rather take a 6th round on, let's say, Stetson Bennett or Jake Moody?
Or Christopher Dunn.
On the kicker from NC State?
NC State, yeah.
I'm taking Moody. Moody's going to more directly affect how you win games for years.
That was my initial reaction as well, and having thought about it a little bit more, I think that's where I'd go with it, because you're talking about a guy that is probably going to score the most points for you during a football season. A guy that will directly affect the outcome of games and could win you or lose you games right now.
I have to look this up, but
I mean, you're talking about making 60-yarders in a dome, potentially.
I understand that, but correct me if I'm wrong. Most of the kickers in the National Football League that are really good, most of them, they weren't even drafted.
No, you're correct. You're absolutely correct. But do you want to take that chance of, okay, we need a kicker, and we know that it can win or lose you games. Mm-hmm. There's 2 in this draft that I think are going to, if you're going to bet on a kicker panning out,
right?
There's 2 in this draft that I think you look at, and it's Dunn out of NC State, and it's Moody out of Michigan. Do you want to risk going into undrafted free agents and that they actually pick to come to Detroit? Now, if you're in a dome, you probably got a better than even chance that they're going to pick one of those teams.
Right.
You know, and it comes down to then, and I haven't done my kicker analysis of what dome teams have, you know, kickers that they're not going to upgrade, but you run the risk of not getting one.
I understand that. I mean, I mean, as you've pointed out many times, nobody really loves the kicker.
No one does
unless
until
it's Justin Tucker.
It goes bad.
Yeah.
But for me, the only way Moody isn't going to be a kicker in this league for several years, like 10+ years, is if he just is a head case once he gets there. I mean, he's got every single thing you want from a kicker. He's so efficient.
Yeah, he's great.
Like I go back to Badgley, the flight of the ball. You know, it doesn't sag to the left like Badgley's balls do.
I've never been in that locker room, though. I can't tell you.
I didn't stop. I'm talking about him kicking.
I understand.
So look at the other night, he missed another kick.
Yeah.
This guy misses a kick every week.
That's my point.
I don't think he's going to be the kicker on this team.
Do you want, when you get to the 35-yard line, to the 30-yard line, do you want to have the confidence that you have points? Like you have a kicker that if you sputter inside the red zone and you can't get a first down, that you can get a
How many times
out there and know that you're going to get 3 points.
How many times has this team been sitting this year somewhere in the 38 to 32-yard line?
Yeah.
And maybe been forced to go for it because they don't believe in their kicker. This is a guy, especially at home in the dome, that should make probably 9 out of 10 of those kicks.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, it's the only thing is that you've seen sometimes with these kickers that get drafted, they just turn into head cases in the NFL. There's no reason to believe it with Moody. He's kicked in all kinds of different conditions at Michigan. To me, I'm with you on kickers, John, for the most part.
Yeah.
But they do matter, and I'll say this: I'd be curious to Brad Holmes. You know, his team got to a Super Bowl because Greg Zuerlein made a 57-yard field goal in the NFC Championship game.
In this draft, you have 2 Lou Groza award. Now, Jake Moody hasn't declared it. I think he has 1 year of eligibility left because of the COVID year. I do believe he will probably enter the NFL draft. but you've got two Lou Groza award-winning kickers, Jake Moody and Christopher Dunn from NC State. And I don't know the personality or the mindset of Christopher Dunn. And so when I say, Jake Moody, I don't know that. I have not met him. I have not interviewed him. I have interviewed Jake Moody. And a lot of people locally here know him because he's a local kid. Right. That's not why you drafted him. We went over this with Aiden Hutchinson. But I do know that in terms of being a head case at the next level, I think Jake Moody has the mentality and the personality for that success that he had in college football to translate into success at the NFL level.
And the other thing, too, is who else is potentially interested in drafting a kicker?
Right.
I mean, most teams aren't.
Right.
There's a lot of teams. It's a very unweighted draft this year in terms of...
Remember the Lions drafted a kicker in the 7th round? Nate Freeze. I just looked him up.
Well, they drafted Jason Hanson in the second round.
Yeah,
right.
That was great.
They've also drafted a long snapper.
That was a little high. I'm not using no second-round pick on him.
Right.
No, but the thing is, they've got the...
Who's the one? Tampa? Roberto Aguayo a few years ago?
Yeah.
He got a second round. It was horrible.
Right, and that's why I said it. Why was he? He was a head case.
Yes. Telephone number is 248-539-9797. Don't forget, 9 o'clock, TJ Lang will be here. It's 97.1 The Tip.
Hey, you want to get away, relax, and just simply have a good time? Well, the place to get to is the D Las Vegas for everything you need. The D is taking all the necessary precautions to make sure your stay is safe and you can enjoy all the comforts of a high-end Las Vegas hotel without missing out on any of the high gaming energy and nightlife that you want. And, I mean, with so many great sporting events coming up in the coming months, college football season is over, but you got the NFL playoffs, obviously the Super Bowl coming up in February. No better place to be than the D. And if you want a great steak, the best one in Vegas is right there at On the Elmo Steakhouse. You want something a bit more casual, you got the D Grill, American Coney Island. At the D Las Vegas, the staff can set you up with a round of golf, and you can party all night at the Long Bar, so get a group together, get to the D Las Vegas, book a room at thed.com, that's thed.com, or if you're staying on the Strip, make sure you put the D Las Vegas in downtown Vegas on your agenda. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
This report brought to you by NECA IBEW Local 58, dealing with quite a few scattered issues, a number of accidents right now, including a new one in the center lane of 75 northbound at 12 Mile, a disabled vehicle 75 northbound exit to Big Beaver, a crash in Monroe County southbound 75 at Luna Pier, also an accident 696 eastbound ramp to M10 South and 94 westbound at Cantu. Put the expertise and skill of NECA signatory contractors and IBEW electricians to work on your commercial, public, industrial, or residential construction project. Productivity and innovation matter. Learn more at poweringmichigansfuture.com. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
The latest news and information on the Big Ten on the 5 Star Zone podcast with Rico Baird. Get it on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
At Diamonds Direct, we want to make something very clear. We will absolutely beat the price of any comparable diamond that you find anywhere else. No fine print, no disclaimers, just a rock-solid, unqualified nationwide price guarantee. And this goes for 1-carat diamonds as well as 15 and 20-carat diamonds. You see, at Diamonds Direct, we're more than just another jewelry store. We're part of a world diamond powerhouse with direct access to the world's top diamond mines. We have our own diamond cutters, too, so we are active in every aspect of the diamond market every single day, from source to showroom. So when you see a diamond somewhere else, online or in a store, or from some so-called supplier, just know that apples for apples, you will get a better price at Diamonds Direct. Our volume, our connections, our buying power make this possible, and it's why we've never ever lost a sale due to price. So at a time when value means so much, we invite you to take this challenge and let us prove it. Day in and day out, you will always get a better quality diamond at a better price at Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Online at diamondsdirect.com.
Surviving COVID as a small business owner was nothing short of a miracle. The 4 shutdowns, adapting the way you did business, now rising inflation. But did you know millions of businesses qualify for the government's employee tax credit? If you have 4 or more W-2 employees, you can get paid back a portion of the salaries you paid during COVID, up to $26,000 per employee. We're not talking pennies, folks. A business with just 4 W-2 employees could collect over $100,000. Yes, $100,000. Call the experts at Jefferson Duke to find out if you qualify. You pay nothing up front. We get a small portion of what you collect. If you don't get paid, we don't get paid. Call 1-800-416-WORK. Again, 1-800-416-WORK. This is not a loan. There is nothing to pay back. You can use the money however you like. Even if you took PPP money, you may qualify. You work hard for your money. Now let Jefferson Duke work hard for you. Call 1-800-416-WORK.
To see contest rules for 97.1 The Ticket contests, go to 971theticket.com and click on the Contests tab.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you might be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to
18400 Van Dyke. That's the one I have in.
Payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com/sports. That's getrefunds.com/sports.
Dancing crew, trip for two, nailed the final interview. Game with Doug, brand new mug. Come here, kid, give me a hug. The more you want to do, the more we want to do. New COVID-19 boosters designed for recent Omicron variants are now available. Learn about eligibility and schedule a free updated booster today at vaccines.gov. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
Today cloudy with spotty rain or snow showers, high of 37.
Weather brought to you by Auto Trader. Shop millions of new cars, used cars, and electric cars on Auto Trader and find your 1 in a million car. Finally, it's easy. Auto Trader. Let your voice be heard. Call the D Las Vegas 97.1 The Ticket studio line at 248-539-9797. The D Las Vegas, the home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
The Detroit Pistons play the Philadelphia 76ers. Pre-game tonight at 7:05 on News Radio 950 WWJ. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
248-539-9797. That is the telephone number. I'm talking about Stetson Bennett. What his Lions should, or anybody, where do you think he's going to be drafted? And also, you know, if you have to decide between, let's say, Stetson Bennett and Jake Moody, or the other kicker, Dunn from Kansas State, who are you going? Take a text. Tough year for Matthew Stafford as he's outshined by Jared Goff and Stetson Bennett. Well, you know what? Matthew Stafford's got a Super Bowl ring.
He's going to be okay.
He'll be okay. Lions' 5th round is much, in capital letters, better served with Jake Moody.
At the next light, turn
Well,
left.
John, now we're giving Stafford excuses way back through college. That is so funny because you are not a big Stafford guy.
No.
No, he was just
I'm more complimenting the Georgia defense over the last 2 years.
Correct. How much better of a prospect was Kirk Cousins than Bennett? I'd absolutely take him in the 5th round. Well, Cousins was a 4th round pick, if I'm not mistaken, and taken by a team that drafted a quarterback in the 1st round.
Right, at Washington.
Yeah.
At the light, turn left onto West 14 Mile Road. Then turn right onto Inkster Road.
The better one was the 4th round pick than RG3.
Because he got hurt, too. Bennett's 25, playing his boys 5 to 6 years younger. Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence are younger. Also, a great running and a defensive system, huge advantage. It's true.
Yep.
Late 6th at the earliest, but I think he could be an undrafted free agent on the practice squad for a year. No chance on Stetson Bennett. Let him go to the XFL. The Rock might like him. I don't know. No, he's like 30 years old. Come on. He's not going to be anything in the NFL. Just another guy who's only good in college. That's John from Lapeer.
Okay. So here's what you're trying to find as a backup quarterback. And I don't think there's anybody that can argue the fact that the Detroit Lions need to find out who their number 2 quarterback is going to be. I don't think you want to go into next year if you're thinking of and your goals are winning the division. And we heard
In
from Penny
1.4 miles, turn right onto Northwestern Highway.
Quarterback. You would love to think that over 17 games, never going to miss a snap, never going to be hurt, never going to get hit. It's not always the case. Sometimes, whether it's, hey, You go into the third quarter, you got to get out of a game, or there's the pulled hamstring. Somebody gets sick.
Yes.
You just simply need to have somebody that can go in and play for one game. We're not talking about developing a starter here. It's simply, can we get a guy to get us out of a game?
Look, it happens. Look at San Francisco. Trey Lance started the season #1. He got hurt. Garoppolo, #2. He got hurt. They got their 7th round pick is taking them.
Yeah, you're talking about the best roster in football.
I understand.
Outside of that, it's going to be interesting to see how this Purdy thing plays out in the playoffs. The potential for the story that is in play here. I mean, if he wins a Super Bowl, Kurt Warner, that's the only comp, right?
Right.
I don't know. I think it's ironic here. We're all using a 6th-round pick, and that one of those 2 6th-round picks is from the Trinity Benson trade.
That's right. I mentioned that earlier. Yeah,
and
it's from Denver. Yeah.
Right, and that. But they get Jake Moody out of it, and they get like a 10-year kicker out of the Trinity Benson trade, or
you like that? Then
it's paying off.
Or the Bennett or something. I do. The age thing is a little bit of a concern.
Yeah, I get it. But we're not talking about somebody who's going to be.
But to your guys' point here with the backup QB. The odds are significantly high that Jared Goff misses some time next year, because he didn't miss any time this year.
Right, and
that's the way
2 years ago he missed, 6 games?
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at a game or 2 coming out of a game at least.
At the next
a lot of
light,
that situation.
right.
Who's it happening against? If you're playing the Bears at home, you got a way better chance with winning with Nate Sudfeld than if this happens at home.
Yeah, let's start from the bottom instead, so that way we work our way up before we head to the yard.
I'm not crazy about Sudfeld, to be honest.
No, me neither.
No, they need to upgrade the backup quarterback position. And so here's the other thing is, if you're going to go the route of free agency and find a #2 quarterback, you're going to pay some money for that #2 quarterback. If you're going to go the route of the draft, and you're going to go 5th, 6th, 7th round,
starting route to
who would you rather have? A guy from, a place that you don't know about that is going to be a career backup quarterback, or would you go with a guy that has a track record of winning 3 national titles, 2 of them in the college football playoff era?
Right.
I mean, the experience alone is something that you would say, okay, well, he can play